Hi, it's Elizabeth. I'm looking for Liz. Trying to find Liz. Somewhere inside of all of this is the skinny Liz I used to be. I'm hoping to peel back a few years as I go as well, and that as I lose a certain amount of weight, I can think back about, okay, yeah, this is about where I was a year ago. This is where I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Because I was basically thin most of my life until I was 40. Since I'm 58, that tells you how many years ago, 18 years, that I've been putting on extra weight and not really dealing with it too well. Although it's been up and down, I'm a classic yo-yo dieter, but I always manage to put a little bit more on. So I'm home from the hospital. This is 48 hours since I was being wheeled out of the recovery room, and I got home about 3 or 4 hours ago. So, um, like I say, I was expecting pain, and I got that. I was expecting to feel like just God, please take me now. I'm ready to go. Um, end all this pain. And yeah, I felt that, but I knew I was going to feel that way. And so knowing that I was going to feel that way, I just knew I had to push through it somehow. Although, of course, it's never fun, and you just keep hoping that some, other day will just happen by, and you'll be done with all this. So my strategy is to sleep a lot. And I think I subconsciously adapt that strategy because it's always hard for them to wake me up out of anesthesia. This is not my first surgery. I recently had my umbilical hernia repaired 2.5 months ago or so, or 3 months ago almost. And I had another hernia repaired with this one. Hiatal hernia was repaired along with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, so 2 surgeries in one. And he also had to cut through some adhesions that were left over from my gallbladder surgery that I had the old-fashioned way many years ago when they had to do a cut stem to stern pretty much. Was not laparoscopic, and is trust me, the worst surgery in the world, I think. I don't know. I suppose there are worse ones, but I can't think of any. Anyway, so I was expecting surgery to be bad, and it was. I was expecting to not only have the pain, but to have nausea, and I did. But not as bad as in years past when they didn't really have good control over how to control that nausea along with giving you the pain meds. So, that's an improvement. But yeah, it feels lousy. For the first 24 hours, I felt lousy. And during the night after recovery, I have to say I had excruciating pain. But that wasn't from the incision. It was from the gas that they put into your body cavity, I guess, to be able to reach all the organs. And, I know that a lot of people tell you to expect that, and there's strategies for expelling the gas and that kind of thing. But I have to tell you, I had no energy coming out of recovery to get up, walk, stand up, anything. I had rubber legs. There was no way I was standing for more than a second or two. So I adapted this strategy of sleep, just sleep, 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 and hope that when I woke up it was all better. Unfortunately, when I woke up and I had to get up to use the lovely commode next to my bed because there was no way in hell I was making it any further than about 6 inches from my bed, as weak as I was. Anyway, when I tried to do that, I got this really excruciating pain. Felt like a knife being stuck up under my left shoulder blade and back, and I just couldn't move. I don't know if that was a spasm or what it was, but there was no way I could move. So we switched everything over to my right side. I was able to roll on my right side and get up. And then what I realized had happened was that apparently all the gas in my body, all the extra air, whatever it is they pump in you, excuse me while I keep rubbing my nose, it seems to be really itchy. Anyway, all of that came up into my shoulder area, and I guess that's where it lodged and stayed, and was really pushing to get out. But unfortunately, there's not a mouth, or the other end of things is not located in your shoulder, so there was no escaping for that gas. Um, and I still have a lot of that right now. Honestly, that's my worst problem at the moment, other than not being able to finish my protein shake, which um, I guess is a good problem to have because you're not hungry. But on the other hand, if you're supposed to get so much fluid and so much protein in a day, I'm behind the eight ball on doing that. But honestly, I can't get it down because I still have a lot of that gas. And I guess because my stomach is so small, I'm still learning my new body and to see what's what. How much is this gas? How much is the stomach being small? I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, the first 24 hours for me, I didn't expect it to go well, and it didn't. And, there's some things that maybe could have been made a little bit better. For one, I had kind of the roommate from hell, and I waited until the next day to ask for a new roommate. And by the way, I was in the hospital 2 nights because I was so weak. At any rate, that first night I had a roommate who had dementia, and she was yelling all night long, and anytime anybody came in, which was every hour, they felt the need to check on both of us. Anytime they came near her, she started yelling at them to leave her alone and go away and whatever. And with her, because she was a safety risk, they left the light on. So I got to sleep with the light and noise. Well, it wasn't any sleep, to say the least. So it was a horrible night and exhausting, and it got better as time wore on, but especially after I finally got around to just saying, I really need another room. If you want me out of here anytime soon, if you want me recovering, you got to get me some other place, any other place. And this other lady just probably needs a room on her own because there's not going to be anyone who's going to be able to recover in the same room with her, unfortunately. Sad though it is. So I would just say, if there's a tip in that, it is to insist on having a different room if you're not recovering well in the room that you have. I guess this is not the time to feel shy and feel like, oh, I can't bother them with this. Yeah, bother them with this. And frankly, when I'm with somebody else and taking care of somebody else who's in a hospital, I'm the kind of person who goes and makes things happen and make sure that somebody does something for someone who's in a lot of pain. But I didn't do that for myself, and I should have. So, or had somebody with me who did, but I didn't. So you move on. Hospital things. Yeah, you expect to have the usual food consisting of Jello, broth, tea, and water. I guess some people get popsicles. I didn't get popsicles, but didn't matter. There wasn't much I could get down. Tiny little sips of water, like 2 teaspoons worth of water, and that's all I could take without regurgitation. So I wasn't getting much down, and the thought that I would have to stay in the hospital much longer because I'm not getting much down did motivate me to keep at it and hang in there and keep doing it, which I finally did do. But I never did really get into the Jello because I'm not into artificial sweetener, and it didn't taste good to me. And the broth, kind of the same way, it just wasn't very good to me. So I stuck with the water and convinced the nurse that, it's okay to call the doctor now and tell him I'm fine to go home. So I finally got released, and home I am. So glad to be here. And this is the happy face of somebody who's home 48 hours later, feeling so much better. So yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I just want to say, hang in there. It does get better, at least for me, at least today. I can't speak for tomorrow. It might not be, but for now, it's all good. So thanks for listening, and take care. See if you have any questions, do shoot them to me, and I'll see what I can do to answer them.